This is question 24 in the higher calculator paper. The question is, the table gives information about the heights in meters of trees in a wood. Draw a histogram to show this information. So I've got my table here, and the question just says, draw a histogram to show this information. Once you know a question wants you to draw a histogram, you should be thinking about frequency density, about working out frequency density. So to do that, I need to add an extra column here, and I'm going to call that frequency density. The other thing that you need to remember is that frequency density is frequency divided by class width. Okay, so in this particular question, I need to identify what the class width is of each of these classes, and then I'm going to divide the frequency by the class width. Now, the class width is how big each of these groups are. So that's 2. This group here is 2. This group here, 8 take away 4, is 4. This group here, 16 take away 8, is 8. And 20 take away 16 is 4. Now let's just check this again. Yep, so all of those are correct. Frequency density is frequency divided by class width. So I'm going to use my calculator to make sure that I don't make any errors whatsoever doing this. So for the first one, I'm going to do 7 divided by 2 equals 3.5. I'm actually going to write these in here. I'm going to do that divided by 2, and that's 3.5. I'm going to do 14 divided by 2, and I don't need a calculator, that's just 7. I'm going to do 18 divided by 4, and let's just see what that is. 18 divided by 4 is 4.5. I'm going to do 24 divided by 8. I could do that, that's going to be 3. And I'm going to do 10 divided by 4, and I reckon that's 2.5. 2.5. So that's my frequency densities all worked out. Now I need to just draw these on the histogram. However, on the graph here, there are no scales on the axes. Nothing's been labeled up. And I reckon as a result of that, you're going to get marks for labeling the axes. So I'm going to write on this side frequency density. And on this side here, it's height in meters, so height. Okay, so I've got that information there. If I move this up a bit, we'll be able to see all of it. And before I proceed any further in terms of writing things down on the scales, let's just look at this. The heights go from 0 all the way up to 20. So I'm going to use a pencil to mark these in. And so let's see how many spaces we've got. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now it goes up to 20. So if I did 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and so on. So I'm going to mark that as 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. So yep, that's brilliant, that will work. And then on this axis here, the frequency densities, if I look at my frequency densities, they go up to 7. The biggest value is 7. So let's just count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I can actually take this all the way up to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So you want to use as much of the space as possible, and the corner is going to be represented by 0. Now I've done that in pencil because if I made a mistake with the scale, I could rub it off and put it again. But it's all right now, and I could write over it again in pen, but I'm going to leave it as it is. I'm going to start to create my histogram now, right? The first bar on the histogram goes from 0 to 2, and it goes up to 3.5. Now 3.5 is going to be halfway between 3 and 4, and it's going from 0 to 2, so just across one of those boxes there, and then downwards. The next bar is from 2 to 4, and it goes all the way up to 7, so there's 7, and it goes across from 2 to 4. The next bar goes from 4 to 8, and it goes all the way up to 4.5. So 4 to 8, and it's 4.5 that I need there. And then bring that down. The next bar goes from 8 to 16, 8 all the way to 16, and it goes up to 3. So 8 to 16, and the frequency density is 3. And the final bar goes from 16 to 20, and the frequency density is 2.5. So 16 to 20, it goes to 2.5, 2.5. So mark that on there, and I just need to be careful putting this in. 2.5, and up to 20. So there is my histogram, my complete histogram for this question. There are 3 marks for this, and this is actually a pretty easy question for this stage of a paper. And if you are aiming for a top grade, you should be able to do this and get full marks. It's a lot easier and a lot quicker than some of the other questions at this end of the paper. Make sure you can do it, make sure you can get full marks in it.